All right, everyone, welcome back for another deep dive with me. And
Always a pleasure to be here.
and today we're going to be diving into Zambia's innovation and technology scene. And all this information comes from a recent newsletter from BongoHive. So if you want to stay up to date on the happenings over in Zambia,
This is a great source.
yeah, so let's jump right into it and see what's happening over there. So right off the bat, we see that Flutterwave has officially relaunched in Zambia. And it seems that BongoHive was present at that event.
They were at the event, yeah. And actually, it's a really interesting point because I think, Flutterwave coming back, that really signals that digital payments are becoming more mature over there.
So it's not just like a, hey, we're back, let's throw a party. It's more of a, hey, we see that things are ready for us here.
Yeah, I think consumer adoption's gotten to a certain point where it makes sense for them to be there and it benefits everybody, right? It benefits the consumers over there. It benefits Flutterwave.
Right. And it seems that this was a pretty big deal because we actually have a quote from Simunza Muyangana, who's the director of entrepreneurship over at BongoHive.
Yeah.
And he was saying that, it was a real push for entrepreneurs and innovation there.
Yeah, and it wasn't just him, right? There was a panel discussion there.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was a great panel discussion.
Yeah.
You had Iyembe Nkanza, who's the country manager for Flutterwave Zambia, and Chinedu Kogu from Techmasters Zambia. And they were talking about how technology can really be a driver for financial inclusion and really help businesses grow.
So if I'm hearing this right, it's not just more ways to pay, but it's really kind of shoring up the digital economy over there in Zambia.
When you say digital economy, what you're really saying is all this economic activity that happens because you have all these people, these businesses, devices, data, and processes, and they're all connected online. And the more that happens, the more you need a system like Flutterwave to smooth out those payments. So this can open up markets for new businesses and ultimately just empower more people to get online and start participating in the digital realm.
Okay, very cool. Well, moving on. It seems like BongoHive was also very involved in Zambia Digital Week 2025. The theme this year was driving innovation for a more connected and intelligent Zambia, which I think pretty much says it all.
I think it covers all the bases there. And they weren't just attending. They were showcasing their own brands and initiatives and making connections with industry leaders. And I think that's so key because that's how you build that collaboration to really move the needle on this digital transformation.
And it seems like the discussions that were happening there weren't just pie in the sky thinking about this. It was a lot about the role of public-private partnerships, which makes a lot of sense because if you're trying to do something on this kind of scale,
I can't do it alone.
you can't do it alone.
Exactly.
And it seems like they're very excited about this. You can kind of feel the enthusiasm coming from BongoHive on this one.
Yeah, and that's a good sign, right? If they're excited about it, I think that means that they believe in the potential of these initiatives and that they're going to actively drive this progress towards a more digital future.
Now, shifting gears a bit to something that our listeners could maybe even participate in, BongoHive is hosting an online discussion about Zambia's AI ecosystem. And it's happening pretty soon, April 9th, 2025, from 6:00 p.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Write that down.
Yeah, mark your calendars, guys. It's going to be completely online, and some of the topics they're going to be covering are AI regulation. They're going to be talking about the opportunities and the challenges that come along with adopting new AI technologies, and then also some of the strategic policy and governance considerations that have to go into place.
And what's really great about this is that they're going to be using information from the 2024 State of AI in Zambia survey, which means that they've got data to back up what they're talking about. And I think that makes it a lot more valuable to know that this isn't just speculation. This is based on some hard data.
Yeah, and speaking of data, it wasn't just BongoHive that was involved in putting together this survey.
Right. Oh, no. The Zambia Information and Communications Technology Authority, or as the cool kids call it, ZICTA, and Ubuntu AI partnered with them. And this is great because you've got the regulatory body, the people working in AI, and then BongoHive all working together.
The dream team.
The dream team, right. I think that definitely gives the findings a lot of credibility and makes this discussion that much more valuable. So if you're interested in the future of artificial intelligence in Zambia, this is a great event to attend.
Absolutely. And it's very easy to register. The link is right there in the newsletter.
Yeah.
So moving from the future to the present, it seems like BongoHive itself is doing some hiring. They're looking for a growth and partnership associate based in Lusaka. Now, the deadline for this is coming up quickly, Friday, April 11th, 2025 at 5:00 p.m.
So you better hurry.
Yeah, if you're interested in this, get your applications in. And this isn't just any role. This is for BongoHive Consult, which is the team that basically helps other organizations build out the products and services that their customers are going to love. So this is strategy, customer needs, all coming together.
A very dynamic role. It sounds like the ideal candidate really needs to have a passion for strategy. Business development is very important, and of course, leveraging technology to drive innovation.
So that sounds like you maybe head over there and apply. Now, for those of you who are maybe more interested in the mining side of things, there's a very interesting opportunity here with the Mine Tech program. Now, this is an initiative that's from the Timbuktu Mine Tech Hub, and the whole focus is on driving innovation in mining technology.
Really reimagining what mining looks like in the future.
Yeah, through youth-led innovation. And I think
Yeah.
that's a really interesting take.
Yeah, I mean, mining's been around for so long. But I think especially given the role that mining plays in so many African economies, Zambia included, having these fresh, new, tech-driven ideas could really have a big impact on sustainability and just efficiency.
Right. It's almost like rethinking from the ground up with new technologies and new ideas.
Right.
And they have the Timbuktu Mine Tech Accelerator, which they're calling Africa's leading program for revolutionizing mining with technology and sustainable solutions. So if this sounds like something up your alley, go ahead and check that out. And along similar lines, ZICTA is also accepting applications for its 2025 ICT Innovation Program. Now, this is specifically for those Zambian innovators, startups, and entrepreneurs who are working on scalable tech solutions. And they've got a pretty impressive list of sectors that they're targeting here.
They do health, agriculture, education, energy, climate, tourism, transport, finance, e-commerce. I think that's all of them.
I think you got them all.
Yeah.
So that deadline is April 28th, 2025.
Yeah.
A little more time to prepare your application, but
It just goes to show that they're committed to nurturing these innovators, these entrepreneurs, and just using technology to really develop their country across a variety of industries.
so again, if you're a tech innovator working in any of those fields, go ahead and look into this. Now, for those of you on the go, BongoHive has actually added a really great feature, an audio version of their newsletter.
Yeah, powered by Google's language model. This is great. You can just listen to it on your commute while you're working out.
Really
It
convenient.
makes it so much more accessible so that everybody can stay up to date on all the cool things happening in the Zambian innovation scene.
And very easy to find. The link is in the newsletter. And I think one last thing to cover here, a report from the Atlantic Council, which is talking about the impact of emerging technologies on democracy in several African countries, including Zambia.
Yeah, so this report dives into things like governance, citizen engagement, economic growth, all being influenced by this digital transformation.
So it's taking a more macro look at these countries, South Africa, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, and of course Zambia. And it's trying to understand both the good and the bad, the challenges and the opportunities that these countries face as they go through this digital transformation and try to build up their democracies.
And it's interesting, right? Because with technology and democracy, you have to think about things like digital rights. The way that information is spread. Is it accurate? Is it not? And what role does technology play in elections and in just civic participation in general? A lot to think about there.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. And of course, the newsletter has a link where you can read more about it. And then lastly, for our entrepreneurs out there, BongoHive has its entrepreneur resource portal, which is full of resources that are specifically designed to help Zambian entrepreneurs.
Yeah, like a one-stop shop for all the tools and resources you need, funding opportunities, budgeting tools, networking. It's all there.
Like they've thought of everything.
That's the goal, right? To try to foster a better environment for startups in Zambia. And I think having a resource like this goes a long way.
So all in all, it's clear that there's a lot going on in Zambia's innovation ecosystem, and it's great to see BongoHive at the center of so much of it. They're really helping to connect people and drive innovation forward.
I completely agree. And there's so many different opportunities for everyone to get involved, whether it's attending that AI discussion, maybe applying for that job at BongoHive, taking part in the Mine Tech or the ICTA programs. It's very exciting to see all this happening.
So I'm curious, what do you think out of everything that we've talked about, what will have the biggest positive impact on Zambia's future?
That's a really good question. I think ultimately it's going to be the continued strengthening of that digital infrastructure. We talked about Flutterwave coming and ZICTA focusing on these ICT innovations. It's laying the foundation for everything else.
Yeah.
You need that reliable digital backbone if you want more people to adopt AI, if you want e-commerce to grow, if you want all these different sectors to be able to use these new technologies and solutions. So that's what I'm most excited to see, how that digital infrastructure continues to grow and evolve.
Very interesting stuff. There's definitely a lot to think about here, and I'm sure we've only just scratched the surface. We're looking forward to our next deep dive into whatever you bring to the table next.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Until next time.
See you later.